Welcome to 12 Scams of the Holidays. My name is Miria Gray. I'm the Community Education Officer here at Chelsea Groton Bank. And this class is really interesting and important because, especially due to COVID right now, there are a lot of scams going on, and it's important to know what they are, know how to combat them, what to watch out for, and things like that. The holidays is a really good time for scammers to get people because you've got so many emails coming in, you're contacting with people that you don't normally speak to on a regular basis, wishing each other happy holidays, and you're probably not as vigilant as you would be at any other time. So, especially this year, we're doing a lot of online purchasing, shopping in stores, maybe donating to charities because a lot of people are in need of money. So it's important to be aware of how to keep your money and your personal information safe, because people aren't just stealing your money, they're stealing your personal information to be able to use at a later date. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the holiday e-card. So you may get these in your email from friends who, didn't want to do the printed photo card or the paper cards and mail them. You may get a holiday e-card. They're super easy to send. It's fun to get them. Usually they're animated and they're funny and they're cute. But you have to be a little bit careful when you're opening the e-cards because it's possible for them to contain a virus or malware that can infect your computer. So if you don't recognize the sender's email, if it says it's coming from somebody but their email does not seem like their normal email, or you haven't heard from this person in 20 years and all of a sudden they're sending you an email, or it's just coming from some random email address, don't open it and definitely don't click on anything because those e-cards, they have data in them, and it is possible for that data to then be downloaded onto your computer to give viruses to your computer. And those viruses, you may not even know they're there. They could just be stealing personal information off of your computer as you're typing into fields such as, your social security numbers, your credit card numbers, and things like that. So, just being vigilant about, as always, about clicking links in emails. And so watch for any greeting with spelling errors. I mean, unless your friend is a terrible speller, make sure that it has a familiar URL. So maybe it's coming from Hallmark or something like that. Coming from that known email address. And fake charities. So the holidays are a great time for criminals to take advantage of people's generosity and create, kind of fake charities. People are always willing to donate, but to avoid being taken advantage of, you should definitely only give to reputable charities. Always go to directly to their website to make a donation. Don't be clicking links in emails that send you to, some unknown source. Clicking links in emails that you're not expecting is, problematic sometimes anyway, but especially something that's going to be collecting potentially credit card information or checking account information. It's better to go directly to the source. And, give to those charities that you're super sure of, right? So not the new one that is cropped up, but something that's been around long term. You've heard of them, you've seen them out there in the community doing good works. Don't give to the new, whatever it might be, charity. If you do give in person, say somebody's, collecting door to door or something like that. Never give cash. Make sure your check is payable to the name of the charity, and not an individual. Anybody could go door to door to say that they're collecting for the American Heart Association or the Red Cross or, Tommy Toy Drive or whatever it might be. And so giving that person cash, it's easy to walk away with that. But if you make the check payable to the organization, they'll have a harder time doing something with that. So the next thing is fake websites. So when you're shopping online, look for a closed padlock located in your browser or a website that reads HTTPS rather than HTTP. The S stands for secure. So you want to be making sure that you're using a secure connection versus an open connection. So you'll also see, as on my screen down here, a closed lock, meaning that it's a secure connection, versus an open lock, which means it's an open connection. So especially if you're inputting personal information, making sure that the information that you're putting in there is on a secure web connection. But you also want to make sure, especially if you're typing into the URL bar that you've spelled it correctly, that you're not clicking the link in an email that's supposedly coming from Amazon that sends you to a link that is like, it looks like Amazon.com, but it's really like AMAZ0 because people can spoof websites, meaning they can make them look like the Amazon website, collect your information. They don't have to build very far in. All they have to do is get you to sign in. So, they don't have to build page upon page of product information. What they do, all they really have to do is get you to sign into that website, and then they have your login information. So if something like that happens, if you realize all of a sudden that you're not on the correct website, go to the correct website and immediately change your login information, especially your password. They can't really do too much with just your username, but definitely change your password to be something more secure. Don't just add an exclamation point at the end of it or something like that, or the number 1. Really change it so that it is not similar to one that you've used in the past. Social media scams. So this happens frequently. Consumers should be aware of posts on social media sites that appear to offer vouchers or gift cards. They may also be selling products. So you'll want to look and see how long that company's been around. You definitely want to look at the comments that are underneath the image that you might be looking at. I was looking at like a really cool sea glass Christmas tree the other day. I was like, oh, that's really cool, but it was like $20. And I was like, that seems, really inexpensive for this huge glass, sea glass tree. And you could see the comments underneath that people had posted that they had stolen that image from an Etsy site, that that product was actually like $80 on another site, and they screenshotted the exact same image. So really be checking to make sure that when you're buying things, or that some may appear as holiday promotions or contests. I actually screenshotted one and shared it over the weekend. That somebody had shared on their Facebook page, somebody that I was friends with, that was a contest, or it was an Aldi. It was an Aldi spoofed Facebook page. And it said that everybody that filled out, liked this post and shared it and then filled out this form would get a free box of food valued at $75 plus a $25 gift certificate to Aldi for the holidays. So all you had to do was go to this link and fill out the information. So I went over to the page. It was a brand new page. This was the only post on the page. The pictures that appeared in the contest promotion were the only pictures on the page. And it was like Aldi store instead of Aldi US, which is Aldi's brand. So really be looking at the pages and the links that you're clicking. The information that they were asking for in that link was names, addresses, and all kinds of private information that you would not want to be sharing in a form. I actually didn't click into the form, but I clicked over to it to see what it was, and you definitely would not have wanted to click into that and go any further. Some others may appear to be from known friends who have shared the link, like I was just saying about the Aldi. Often these scams lead to consumers to participate in an online survey that's designed to steal personal information. So, it's collecting all of that information from you that you normally wouldn't just give to somebody, but because you think that you're going to get something in return, you put it out there. There are definitely some real ones out there. So definitely go look. Keith's Appliance in Norwich right now is running a promotion where you fill out an information, but all they're asking for is your first name, last name, email address, and town, and a contact phone number for you. They're not asking for any personal information. No birth dates, no credit card information, none of those things. And if you look on their Facebook page, you can see that they're a real company. You can see that they do this promotion every year. So, be looking into what type of a company is asking you for this information. Free Wi-Fi. Avoid the temptation to connect to free Wi-Fi while you're out holiday shopping, or if you do, never use your personal or financial accounts as the connection may be run by scammers. So anybody can set up a free Wi-Fi connection, and they you don't need, what they do is, like, if anybody has ever signed into a Wi-Fi connection at a hotel, right? You give a whole bunch of information to sign in to their open Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi is not really open, right? You don't just link up to it. And we have free Wi-Fi at the bank, but it is password protected, and we do give our customers that password information if they ask for it. But free Wi-Fi could be set up by anybody, and if you connect to it, they could be getting your information as you're putting in passwords and things like that through their system. So if you're going to connect to free Wi-Fi, I do it at Walmart because, I want to check my text message, or I want to, text somebody to see if they need anything while I'm there. That's okay. Those things are already set up. I don't have to put a password in to get into, my email. I don't have to do those types of things. So that's fine. Don't log on to a credit card account. Don't log on to your banking account. Don't log on to anything where the scammers would be able to get login information from you or for you. So the SMS or texting, these are relatively, these are relatively a little bit more new in the past couple of years. First, don't ever provide sensitive information through text messages, and delete text messages asking for your account verifications. Nobody is going to text you, like the bank's not going to text you and say, please give us your username and password to verify don't give us your account number to verify. The bank doesn't send those types of text messages. You may get a text message from a bank saying that, they think that they saw some fraud on your account. Can you confirm that these are the last 3 purchases that you made? That information should be coming to you from that source, and the only thing that you're confirming is yes or no. You're not providing any information to them. And definitely don't be sending private information via text message. So, for example, if you bought something from a friend who has a small business, don't text to them your credit card number or your debit card number, because that friend isn't going to be the only person that sees that information. Your text messages are stored somewhere in your phone carrier service. Who knows who has access to that information? So do not send sensitive information over a text message. And even if you delete it on your end, there's no guarantee they're going to delete it on their end, and they will then have that information for the foreseeable future. So, giving them a call and giving it to them over the phone, better solution. If you can fill it in online and a secure website, that's an even better solution. If you can order your product online, that's not always an option, but if you can, that's great. If you can, send somebody a person-to-person payment through Venmo or, some other service like that, that's an even better solution, because you don't actually have to give them any account information. And definitely don't click on links and text messages from accounts that you aren't subscribed to. So if I subscribe to a text service, like I have said, yes, I want to hear about package updates from Amazon, for example. When those updates come through, I name that account Amazon on my phone. So I know when that those texts come through that they are coming from Amazon. So when a random text message comes through from a random phone number or weird digits, I can just delete it, because I know that it is not coming directly from Amazon, because it's not popping up my contact information card, right? So, making sure that you are being vigilant about, paying attention to the types of information that are coming through text, and trying to avoid clicking on any links that may ask you for personal information or steal your personal information. Malicious mobile apps. Okay, so not all apps for your smartphone or tablet are definitely from reputable app stores. Apple is a lot better about this than Android. Apple has a very vigilant app processing process. You have to go through jump through 1,000 hoops to be able to get an Apple app. That's why you have the Apple app and the Android app are separate. They are not created equal. So what to look out for, and I'm not saying all Apple apps are reputable either, so be super careful, but what to look out for. Inappropriate permissions. So do they want to have, is it a game like a word game, like, Words with Friends, and all of a sudden they're asking for access to your camera? Why would they need that, right? So making sure that you're not giving them inappropriate permissions to do things with your phone. Watch out for those poor app descriptions. So like, read over what the app is, and if it just says, photo app, like, that's not a good description, right? You're gonna want more. So All phones have a camera app on them. They do make other camera apps that have, you know, upgraded things that your phone might have. You don't just want one that says camera app. You want something that gives you a little bit more of a description, because you're giving it access to things like your photos on your phone. You're giving it access to the camera ports on your phone. You're giving it access to potentially, you know, your audio system on your phone to do video. So making sure that you're getting a reputable app. The app developers, and they're all listed on there, using free email services. A well-known brand is not going to use like john.smith@yahoo.com, right? So if it's built supposedly by a major app designer, they're not going to use a personal email for that. It's going to be by a company. So be on the lookout for that. And so romance scams during the holidays are hard, because, you know, nobody likes to be lonely during the holidays. Everybody wants to have a partner and somebody to do things with and enjoy their time with. And so scammers hit holiday time a lot harder than they would other times of the year, because they know that, you know, people are looking for that connection, to start a new year off right, whatever it might be. So things that you would want to watch out for on these dating apps, right? So an extreme age difference. If you are super young and somebody super old is contacting you, if you're older and somebody that is, you know, 40 years, your junior contacts you, not saying that that is wrong, it's just a red flag. One red flag isn't bad, but red flag upon red flag upon red flag, it becomes problematic. Lives near you, but works overseas. Okay, so we do have a lot of military in our area. So that's not completely unheard of. But again, it's the red flag upon the red flag upon the red flag of things that you're looking for. So, you know, if they say they live near you but are working overseas, they're not home, start asking them questions that really only somebody that is in your area would know the answers to. You know, what is their favorite restaurant? You know, what is their favorite place? Something that they're not going to Google. Have they ever heard of this restaurant? Have they ever been to this location? And make something up if you want to. You know, have you ever been to, you know, the Six Flags amusement park in Norwich, Connecticut? Well, Norwich, Connecticut doesn't have a Six Flags amusement park, but somebody who doesn't know that might say, oh, yes, we go there all the time, right? So, you know, things to just be on the lookout for. Check to see if their photos are recent, and do they all look like the same person? So, you know, is it a recent photo, or does it look like it might be 10 years old? Do they say they're 45 but their photo looks like they're 20? Or do they say they're 20 but their photo looks like they're 45? Do they all look like the same person? Does the person have, you know, blonde hair in one photo and brown hair in the next, and green eyes in one photo and blue eyes in the next? You know, are all the photos the same? You can also do a reverse Google search for photos. So, you know, you can go out there and see if those photos are used anywhere else. Typically, scammers pull photos from Google. So, you know, you might find that they've literally just taken a screenshot, and you can see the website up on the top of the page. So be looking for those things. Their command of the English language is not what it should be. So some people are terrible spellers. You know, it just is what it is. But if they say that they grew up in the United States, but they can't put a grammatically correct sentence together. Everything is spelled wrong. Nothing is correct. You know, that raises another red flag. And on top of other red flags, could make it problematic. All right. So ask to talk to them on their phone. Is their number local? Now, if there are truly in the military, and we do have a lot of military in our area, it is entirely possible that they do not have a local number. But do they have an accent? So, you know, do they say they're an American and they grew up in the United States? But when you talk to them on the phone, they have, you know, an accent that is definitely not American. Or, you know, did they say they grew up down south somewhere and they don't have a Southern accent? You know, all of these things. And again, not just one thing, it's a bunch of things together. Over the top expression of feelings, okay? So if you've been talking to somebody online for 2 days and all of a sudden they are madly in love with you and you are the person that they've been dreaming of for their whole life, you know, that is very soon. You've not even met this person. So how could they be having these feelings? They are, you know, pushing that connection. And then if they ask for money or anything, if they ask you to send them gift cards, if they ask you to send them an airline ticket, if they ask you to send them money, or that they lost their passport, or whatever it might be, that they need your help because of this, because of that. So the goal is to form a connection with you so that you feel a bond with them, and then you're willing to give them things that you might otherwise normally not do, because you're feeling this connection, because you feel that you are in love with them or they're in love with you. And sometimes these relationships build up over time, and sometimes they're fairly quick. You know, but definitely ask for more and more photos or a phone conversation or, you know, a video call, like all of these things. So be double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking everything. And then, so a really big one is a grandparent scam. This one is heartbreaking in my opinion, but it's when criminals target the elderly grandma or grandpa, that they assume, so they're targeting the elderly for money. So basically, they may know your name. It's really easy to find out the name attached to a phone number. They may know your grandchild's name or ask you if you know who it is. So they may call up and say, hey, grandma and grandpa, you know who this is? And because, you know, hearing's not good, they might say they have a cold. Grandma and grandpa might say, oh, is this so-and-so? And they're like, yes, it is, right? So, and then they get into this conversation. So now the person on the other end of the line has a name to be able to use. They may have an excuse why they don't sound like themselves, a cold or something like of that nature, a bad connection. So ask a question only they have the answer to, or ask if you can call them right back. Call a number that you know is theirs, you know that it's a parent or sibling. Basically what these people are calling and doing is saying that there's a problem and they need them to wire money right away. They maybe say they're in jail or they're hurt or in the hospital, or they lost their wallet and they're stuck and they need a you know, cab ride, a train ride, an airline ticket. And usually it's some kind of heightened sense of urgency. So they're not giving grandma, grandpa a time to think about it, right? Because if we think about it, then we can rationalize things. They don't want to give that time to think about it. So it's an emergency. Something's really gone wrong. They need the money. They need it now. A lot of times it's for bail. They don't want you to tell their mom and dad because they don't want mom and dad to know. That's why they're calling you. So, being aware and thinking through and then having that conversation, say, oh, can you tell me the last time I saw you? Or, what's my middle name? Or, what is your mom's name or your dad's name or your mother's maiden name or whatever it might be. A question that somebody that doesn't really know you, that's just a scammer, wouldn't have the answer to. Ask if you can call right back. If they say that they're in jail, ask where. Where are they in jail? And then say, oh, you know what? I'm going to call you right back at the jail. Blah, blah, blah. Don't take the number from them. Don't have them give you a number, because they'll give you a number and then you'll call right back. But, if they say they're at, what state are you in? What's the name of the jail? Look that up and call the direct line. Hang up and call a parent, call a sibling, ask if they know where they're at. Or if they're in college or at their apartment, try calling their cell phone. Chances are nothing is really wrong and that they are safely somewhere and they really don't need help. Gift card scams. So during the holiday season, consumers should be careful if somebody asks them to purchase gift cards for them. In these scams, the victim receives either a spoofed email, a spoofed phone call, or a spoofed text from a person in authority requesting that the victim purchase multiple gift cards for either personal or business reasons. So you might get an email from your boss, for example, that says he's in a meeting, he can't get out right now. He was supposed to purchase gift cards to give as gifts. He needs them very soon, in the next hour. He can't get out of this meeting to go do it. Can you go do it? Buy the gift cards. Send him the information on the back of the card and he will reimburse you as soon as he's out of this meeting. So that is more than likely a fraud. Not too many people's bosses need the gift cards immediately. If you think that it could be true, you're going to want to be checking things like the email that it's coming from. Although emails can be spoofed, so meaning that it could be copied. So, send your, call your boss's office, send your boss a text message. Don't reply to that message, but create a new email to your boss's email and say, hey, I just got this email from you, or forward the email. Forward the email to your boss and say, did you send me this email? Do you need me to go do this? Nobody wants to disappoint their boss. So, we go and do it. But, during the holidays, you might get it from a family friend or a relative saying, hey, I'm really bogged down with work. I didn't get any gifts for this evening. Can you please go buy me gift cards and send me the information on the back? So, it's really important not to do that. Check in with the person another way, not through email. Make sure that they actually is that what you're asking, and don't go do it. The it gift scam. So every year, there seems to be a gift that kids just can't live without, and parents are desperate to get. So that's the it gift, right? And typically what happens is that somebody will post that they have these that maybe, and could potentially, they do have them, but they may be charging very exorbitant prices for them. um, so only shop at reputable retailers. um, buying something on the marketplace or um, through an online group forum is not the safest way to purchase something. Use a credit card versus a debit card to make online purchases for better fraud protection. If they wipe out your credit card, that's one thing. If they wipe out your bank account, that's something completely different. So shop at those reputable retailers. Do an Amazon purchase. Do a Walmart or whatever it is, but make sure you know where that product is coming from. And you don't necessarily have to buy that gift for Christmas Day. Of course, it's great, but you can probably get that gift several weeks after Christmas for a reasonable price. So don't spend exorbitant amounts of money for something that is just because it's hard to get around the holidays, because everybody wants one. And 2 weeks later, they're going to be the shelves are going to be full again, and you can get it at regular retail price. And if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. So then there is always this one, which is the holiday grab and dash. Not all holiday scams are high tech. With more friendly attitudes, people carrying extra cash in packed areas, although packed areas this holiday season should not be that big of a deal. Like, we should not be having packed areas. But pickpocketing and purse snatching and laptop theft are more prominent during the holidays because, we are carrying more cash. We are, being in closer, we're waiting in lines. There's, lots of things. So stay on top of where is your purse, making sure it's zipped, keeping any extra cash you have not just in your wallet in your pocket. Maybe you're keeping it in a more secure location. Do you have a zipper pocket on your jacket versus just in the back pocket of your pants? Whatever it might be, and keeping a close hand on our bags, not putting them in carts and just leaving them sitting in the top of the cart, because that can lead to somebody just either reaching in while you're not paying attention or taking the whole bag. Use a cross-body strap to carry your purse so that it's across your body instead of just hanging off your shoulder, which is much easier to grab. Carry your house keys in a separate location so that if somebody steals your purse, they're not also having the keys to your house, because if they steal your purse, they have your driver's license, they know where you live, and now they have your keys. So, making sure to carry those in a separate location. Make sure all the zippers are closed. And if somebody bumps into you, be vigilant. Make sure you're checking your bag, checking that your purse is still in there. People bump into people all the time. Things are an accident, but making sure that all of your wallets and everything are still there after it happens is important. If you can catch them right away, you might be able to catch them before they get out of the store. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Those are the top 12 scams of the holiday season. Well, if nobody has any questions, thanks for everybody for joining us today. We hope this has been helpful. We update this PowerPoint yearly from the FBI's website for all the new scams. So check back with us next year for the new and improved version. And share this with your friends. It will be posted on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So have a great day, and we'll see you later.